How's it going, Hodlers? Today we're going to go over Cardano, Bitcoin, where the market is, and then we're going to be taking a look at Bollinger Bands in terms of our TA Tuesday brought to you by BitBuy. If you do want to get signed up with BitBuy, the safest exchange in Canada, you can go ahead and click on the link down in the description below. And that also supports the channel because we get a bonus as well when you use a referral. So let's first talk about Cardano. Cardano is on a downward kind of trend right now. It's been dropping for quite a while. There's a lot of fear in the market around Cardano, and I understand that. Now, I'm going to stand true to say an under $2 Cardano is probably a good purchase price, right? Especially if you've been buying high, buying in the $3 range. But I don't think there's as much mania about Cardano as there was back here, right? If you remember back in YouTube, coming in to the bull market in the Cardano phase, Cardano had such a fanboy aura around it, and it's fine, and that's great to have that much market sentiment and that much enthusiasm about a project. But at the end of the day, anytime that Cardano would just trade level or go down, everyone would freak out and lose their minds, not understanding that, hey, Cardano has gone up from 3 cents. It's probably one of the best crypto investments that you could have made if you got it at the bottom, essentially. I was lucky enough to buy a little bit, but I didn't buy a lot down there. But I'm happy enough, at least with my Cardano bag. Now, that being said, Cardano is at $1.76 right now. It is on this downwards trend, and we are seeing that we're kind of at lines of spar. I would have preferred to draw the line up here, more at the peak, right? But here is still relevant, right? We have a couple of different peaks that we're hitting on this line of support. So right now we're just kind of seeing whether or not Cardano is going to hold at this level, at the, let's say, $1.75 level, or if it's going to kind of capitulate down further. Now, alternatively, it could go up. Now, the things that are hurting Cardano right now is the fact that we're in a downwards trend, and we can clearly see that here. So we are consistently going down, hitting lower lows for Cardano, even though right now the market is generally up, right? Bitcoin is sitting at 57,000. Ethereum is sitting at 4,300. So there is health in the market generally, but we see this Cardano dip, and we wonder exactly what's happening. Now, something that I find interesting is this. Etoro delists Cardano and Tron for US customers due to regulatory issues. Now, I don't know that there's this big push to delist Cardano on any other exchanges. I haven't heard anything from Binance. But then again, Binance doesn't really service the US as much as, say, the rest of the world. Unfortunately, I'm out of that too because of Ontario legislation. So I don't use Binance anymore either. But in terms of Etoro, I don't actually know anyone that uses Etoro. And I know they're a big outfit, and I know they're around the crypto space a lot, but what impact is this actually going to have on Cardano? And is this why we see the price drop today? I mean, FUD could be a cause, right? Again, these markets are emotional, so sure, FUD like this, the eToro FUD could be just to push Cardano's price down, but I don't think it's enough. Personally, I don't think this is big enough news, seeing eToro delist ADA. Maybe it's odd that they delisted ADA and Tron. I'm not quite sure what that's about, what the regulatory issues are between those two currencies. So I guess we'll wait and see if any other exchanges have similar regulatory issues. But as far as I know, not anything glaring that we need to be worried about. But we do see Cardano down 1% on the day. Will it go up? I'm confident it will. I haven't sold any of my Cardano, and I'm still vibing out for that 5 to 8 Cardano by the end of the market cycle. So just keep that in mind. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 57,715, so 57,715. Now, something that I thought was interesting, because I've been trying to think what could happen in the next little while for Bitcoin. Like, what could we possibly see? Now, I know there's a lot of people that are really bearish, saying that we could go below 53,000, we could go sub 40,000. Some people even calling for a 30K Bitcoin. I've been hearing that from a number of people. And even some of my viewers are asking, especially in the live streams, like who specifically is saying this stuff. I mean, there are a lot of prominent YouTubers that are saying, hey, the top is in, and we're calling for a low Bitcoin. Now, I don't completely agree with this, but I want to bring up a scenario. I want to bring up a scenario where we hit these two lines of support and then bounce up into a new price target, right? Where we want to be, potentially even that 100,000. Now, this is going to look fairly bullish, right? And this is high speculation, but just keep with me for a moment. Just bear with me. If we make a move that hits our 52,000 and we hold support at our 52,000, that brings this fractal here to roughly 96,000 by the end of December, which is what a lot of people were calling for. Is this something that's possible by, say, a new year having a positive Bitcoin after a kind of drop? I'm not quite sure. I think the holidays might be a little bit worse for wear. We have a couple of things to keep in mind. We have things like the regular stock market, how the legacy markets are going to do during Christmas. I'm hoping that everything's going to be fine. We have the DXY that's continuously been breaking out, so this could hold Bitcoin down for a while. So we would need this to drop for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to go back up. It's not one-to-one correlated, but generally when the DXY is up, Bitcoin and crypto is down, which right now the DXY is up and crypto is up roughly 2%. So still doing fairly well. Either way, at this point, speculation isn't worthwhile. At this point, we're just going to wait it out and see exactly what Bitcoin's going to do, because we are so close to the deciding factor of whether or not Bitcoin holds these prices or does crash below. I do think that we're going to hold, but we will wait and see. Okay, and welcome back to our BitBuy chart. So again, if you want to support the channel and sign up for BitBuy, the safest exchange in Canada, you can go ahead and click on the link in the description below. So first and foremost, when we're adding an indicator, again, on the BitBuy chart, you'll have to right click, just hit insert indicators. Today, we're going to be talking about the Bollinger Band. You can just simply type in BB, but Bollinger Band also works. So the Bollinger Band is a technical analysis tool that was developed by someone named Bollinger, of course. Now, one thing to keep in mind is 90% of trading, 90% of price action happens within the Bollinger Bands, right? So anytime that something breaks out below the Bollinger Band or breaks out above the Bollinger Band, it's a major event typically. Now, you have three components of the Bollinger Band. That is the upper Bollinger Band, which is the top band at the top. You have the 20-day moving average, and then you have the bottom band of the Bollinger Band. Now, Bollinger Bands are great in terms of identifying when a price could shift, when something is overbought or oversold, so whether or not it's at the top or the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So for example, if we ever see a situation where we do get to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, say like here, now we kind of drag the Bollinger Band quite down, but during that point, we eventually found a trend reversal and then started trending up until we hit the top of the Bollinger Band and then trended down. So a lot of people use the Bollinger Bands just to swing trade back and forth. I think that the win rate for this indicator is roughly 60%. It could be a little bit higher. I know it's above 50. But again, you see every time that we hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band, essentially we do see that trend reversal go into the other way and then into the center of the Bollinger Band. So we could see corrections and trend changes around the top, middle, or the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that the Bollinger Bands shouldn't just be used by themselves, right? So we've talked about a lot of different indicators on this channel. We've talked about the RSI, and we've also talked about the MACD. So when you combine all of these indicators and use them all to identify exactly what is happening within the market, it gives you a much bigger picture on what's happening, where things could go in the near term. We see, for example, Bitcoin is going up to the top of the Bollinger Band. We're not quite at the overbought portion on the RSI, but we are coming to a peak and a potential cross here and a trend reversal on the MACD. So we have a couple of things showing that we could make it to the top of the Bollinger Band and then revert back down, then continuing our oscillating trend over and over and over. And that's basically the indicators that you would use for more short-term trading. So using these in combination is probably your best bet. So overall, it's been a bit of a rough ride for cryptocurrency over the last couple of days. And we see a lot of green for the day, at least on the daily. We have 2.5 on Bitcoin. We have 6.5 on Ethereum. So there is still a lot of health in the market, and we see a lot of coins like Polygon making pumps. We see Elrond making a really good move. You have things like Theta pumping. A lot of the metaverse tokens like Decentraland, Sand doing very well. Decentraland, obviously something that we've talked about on the channel. Sand is something that we talk about a lot on the live streams. A lot of people like that metaverse play. So there's a lot of life here in the market right now. So I wouldn't be too terribly concerned. I know a lot of people are saying things like the market's in, we're going down. I don't think that's happening. Harmony One is making a move of 13% over the 7-day, 15% on the daily. So quite a lot for Harmony One. So just keep this all in perspective. I know it's hard to look at the prices right now and think that we can be bullish, but I promise you, as long as we're above 52,000, we do have a lot of support where we are for Bitcoin, so I wouldn't be too worried. That's it for me. Hopefully this video helped you navigate through the market. If it did, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. And if you want to get signed up for BitBuy, the safest exchange in Canada, you can go ahead and click on the link in the description below. All right, everyone, happy hodling.